Ladies and gentlemen, I'm your host, Dr. Yavuz Selim Sılay. I'm really thrilled to give you the most authentic news through World Health News. Today, I have very interesting news that I want to share about health. Ladies and gentlemen, do you know that one of the robots treated brain aneurysm for the very first time? I also want to give another news about our health. How actually just half a tablespoon of olive oil a day can improve heart health. Our third very interesting news is about iGenomics. Comprehensive DNA sequence analysis on your smartphone is now a reality. And of course, at the end, our fourth news is about longevity. We are nearing longevity escape velocity, where science can extend your life for more than a year for every year you're alive. And our last news is about sleep, because I know sleep is very important for all of us, right? I know how anxious you are when you cannot fall asleep properly. So I will tell you a technique about how to fall asleep in 10, 60, or 120 seconds. But let's get to our first very news. This exciting news that I was thrilled to hear was about a robot which treated brain aneurysms for the very first time. Canadian researchers have successfully achieved the first robotic brain vascular procedure. The robot was specifically adapted for neurovascular surgeries, equipped with changes that enabled it to accommodate microcatheters, guide wires, and other devices used for endovascular procedures in the brain. This experience is the very first step towards achieving our vision of remote neurovascular procedures, said in a statement lead researcher Ntr Tv. And this physician, who is a very important neurosurgeon and neuroradiologist at the Toronto Western Hospital and a professor of medical imaging and surgery at the University of Toronto in Canada. The ability to robotically perform intracranial aneurysm treatment is a major step forward in neuroendovascular intervention. In total, the surgeons have performed 6 very successful aneurysm treatments with the help of the robot. The procedures even included deploying various devices, such as flow diverting stents. The expectation is very clear. In the future, robotic systems will be able to be controlled remotely, even far more remotely. For example, you could be at your hospital as a physician and deliver therapy to a patient hundreds or even thousands of kilometers away, Dr. Mendes Pereira said. So the ability to deliver rapid care through remote robotics for time-critical procedures such as stroke could have a huge impact on improving patient outcomes and allow all the medical world to deliver cutting-edge care to patients everywhere, regardless of geography. So in this experience, future operators of this technology, this will help develop the workflows and processes necessary to implement successful robotic programs, which will ultimately help establish remote care networks in the future. So robots today are used in many capacities, ladies and gentlemen, as you all know, and it's greatly improving the field in which they are present. So the question is this: would you trust a robot with surgery? Our next news is about a tablespoon of olive oil, and just how a half tablespoon of olive oil a day can improve your heart health. And this was written by Dan Gray. So I want to thank Dan for this very nice news. And it's been long known that the Mediterranean diet, many of you is well known, it's one of the healthiest diets in the world. So now the research shines a new light on the ways that one of the diet's main components, olive oil, helps boost the heart health. Researchers presented their findings at the American Heart Association's Lifestyle and Cardiometabolic Health Scientific Sessions in Phoenix. So in this scientific session, their analysis of long-term data dating back to 1990 shows that eating more than half tablespoon of olive oil per day lowers one's risk of cardiovascular disease by 15%. And the risk of coronary heart disease by 21%. So while consumption of olive oil has been associated with improved heart health for years, the new research shows these associations with a United States-based population for the very first time. Mostly these associations have been shown in the past in Mediterranean, Turkey, and European populations. So When we looked into this news, Marta Guasch-Ferre, PhD, the lead author of the study, and the research scientist in the Department of Nutrition at Harvard THN School of Public Health in Boston, told that until now, there was no previous study that showed results in a US population. So the health benefits of olive oil are well understood, according to Dr. Benjamin Hirsch, the director of preventive cardiology at Northwell Health's Sandra Atlas Bass Heart Hospital in Manhasset, New York. Olive oil is a simple way to replace unhealthy saturated and trans fatty acids of animal fats with a source of omega-3, fat acids that reduce inflammation and improve cholesterol, Hirsch told. So it has also been associated with improved vascular function, heart health, and survival. Animal-based fats such as margarine, butter, dairy fat, and mayonnaise are less healthy than olive oil when it comes to supporting heart health. An intriguing detail uncovered in the new study shows that olive oil isn't the only oil that contains these benefits. Guasch-Ferre said that researchers also saw very positive associations with other plant oils, such as corn or safflower oil. Although more research is needed to confirm the effects of plant oils and if they are actually as beneficial as olive oil in terms of the health outcomes. So while olive oil was much better than animal fat when we did the substitution analysis, they were not superior to vegetable oils, she explains. So this means that other vegetable oils could be a healthy alternative compared to animal fat, especially because they tend to be more affordable in the United States compared to olive oil. Guasch-Ferre also pointed out that these findings are consistent with current recommendations that highlight the quality rather than the quantity of fat intake. She adds that the study led to new questions and more data will undoubtedly add to the overall understanding of the relationship between olive oil and our heart health. One thing we couldn't analyze here was the different types of olive oil, whether it was common olive oil or extra virgin olive oil. There is some evidence showing that extra virgin olive oil varieties have higher amounts of polyphenols that are associated with better lipid profiles and less inflammation, she said. It will be very interesting to see the effects of different varieties along the effects of different vegetable oils on health outcomes, along with defining the underlying mechanisms of these associations. So ladies and gentlemen, if you hear more about this research, we will definitely share it with you because as you know, medicine is your food and food can become your medicine if you are not using your food properly. Our third news is about iGenomics. Actually, through your smartphone, now there is a huge revolution. You can do a comprehensive DNA sequence analysis on your smartphone with iGenomics. Following the miniaturization of integrated circuitry and other computer hardware over the past several decades, DNA sequencing is following a similar path. Leading this trend is the Oxford Nanopore sequencing platform, which currently offers the handheld MinION instrument and even smaller instruments on the near horizon. This technology has been used in several important applications, including the analysis of genomes of major pathogens in remote stations around the world. However, despite the simplicity of the sequencer, an equally simple and portable analysis platform is not yet available, ladies and gentlemen. So iGenomics comes here. And iGenomics is the first comprehensive mobile genome analysis application with capabilities to align reads, covariance, and visualize the results entirely on an iOS device, implemented in Objective-C using the FM index, banded dynamic programming, and other high-performance bioinformatics techniques. iGenomics is optimized to run in a mobile environment. So we're benchmarking iGenomics using a variety of real and simulated nanopore sequencing datasets and show that iGenomics has performance comparable to the popular BWA, MEM, SAMTools IGV suite without needing a laptop or server cluster. So, which is very interesting and very important, ladies and gentlemen, iGenomics is available as an open source. Our fourth news is about longevity. As you all know, we are nearing the longevity escape velocity, where science can extend your life for more than a year, for every year you're alive. Technology hasn't just improved our lives, it's also extended them considerably. For most of history, humans lived about 25 years. Real acceleration emerged at the turn of the 20th century when everything from the creation of antibiotics to the implementation of better sanitation to the increased availability of clean water and the ability to tackle killers like cancer and heart disease has us living routinely into our 80s. But many scientists believe we are not stopping there yet. Technological convergence is fueling this conviction. The intersection of artificial intelligence, cloud computing, networks, sensors, robotics, massive data sets, biotechnology and nanotechnology is taking direct aim at the limits of human lifespan. From a macroscopic perspective, researchers now know there are 9 major causes of aging, ranging from stem cell exhaustion to epigenetic mutation to telomere attrition. So the longevity space is exploding and in very particular directions. There are a myriad of researchers and at least 2 to 3 serious companies working on each of these issues. Some sound exactly like science fiction. Take 3D printed replacement organ parts, for example. They are slated to start by hitting the market by 2023. So by 2028 or so, experts are beginning to argue that by organ failure may become a problem to be managed rather than a sad fact of life. Samumet is a very important company in California, and Samumet is another sci-fi-like example. Technically, the San Diego-based bioscience company is developing treatments aimed at the Wnt signaling pathway. Wnt is WNT. You will hear more about this signaling pathway as we continue in our shows. So Wnt signaling pathway, which plays a major role in stem cell communication. In less technical language, when Wnt signaling goes haywire, 20 different diseases of aging are the result. Notably, the company Samumet is making great progress in the fight against cancer with drugs that target literally every type of tumor. In one very small and very tantalizing study that I have reviewed, a 3-dose treatment completely halted the pancreatic cancer. A different stem cell-based approach is also being pioneered by another company, Cellularity, a company founded by stem cell pioneer Robert Hariri. Hariri's experiments demonstrate that placental-derived stem cells in animals can extend lifespan by 30 to 40%. So the company is now working to make this approach viable in humans, harnessing stem cells' incredible ability to amplify the body's ability to fight disease and healing itself. So beyond aging-related diseases, researchers are making the most extraordinary progress in the effort to cure inherited diseases, ladies and gentlemen. So of the nearly 50,000 genetic diseases, single mutations in the DNA cause some 32,000. Well, CRISPR to the rescue. So this year we saw the technology which allows us to target precise locations in the gene code and then rewrite the DNA. Erase sickle cell anemia. This doesn't mean they treated the disease. Erased as in forever. Edited out of the code. But the exact same technology can be used on nearly every other single mutation ailment. That's one technology and 32,000 diseases erased as in forever. So I was very interested to share this news, and kudos to these companies which are really pushing forward the limits of a much better life for our entire human race. So, ladies and gentlemen, my last news is about sleep. Some may feel sleepy already, but joke aside, some may have problems about sleep, right? So how to fall asleep in 10, 60, or 120 seconds? The fastest way to sleep, spending more time trying to fall asleep rather than actually sleeping. Don't you like that? You're not alone. Just the act of trying too hard can cause or continue a cycle of anxious, nerve-wracking energy that keeps our minds awake. And if your mind can't sleep, it's really difficult for your body to follow. But there are scientific tricks. You can try to flip the switch and guide your body into a safe shutdown mode. We cover some science-based tricks to help you fall asleep faster. In terms of sleeping in 10 seconds, it usually takes a magic spell to fall asleep this quickly and on cue. But just like spells, with practice you can eventually get to the sweet 10-second spot. Note that the method below that I'm going to explain takes a full 120 seconds to finish, but the last 10 seconds is said to be truly all it takes to finally snooze. This is known as the military method. The popular military method, which was first reported by Sharon Ackerman. And this comes with a book titled Relax and Win, Championship Performance. According to Ackerman, the United States Navy pre-flight school created a routine to help pilots fall asleep in 2 minutes or less. It took pilots about 6 weeks of practice, but it worked. Even after drinking coffee, ladies and gentlemen, and with gunfire noises in the background. This practice is said to even work for people who need to sleep sitting up, like myself now. So let's get to this method, the military method, okay? Are you ready, ladies and gentlemen? First, let's all together relax your entire face, including your muscles inside your mouth. Make sure it's relaxed. Drop your shoulders to release the tension and let your hands drop to the side of your body. Exhale, relaxing your chest. Relax your legs, thighs, and calves. Clear your mind for 10 seconds by imagining a relaxing scene. If this doesn't work, try saying the words. Don't think over and over for 10 seconds. Within 10 seconds, you should fall asleep. If this doesn't work for you, you may need to work on the foundations of the military method. Breathing and muscle relaxation, which have some scientific evidence that they work. Also, some conditions such as ADHD or anxiety may interfere with this method's effectiveness. So I will recommend you to do more search on the military method, which is very famous, and keep reading to learn about the technique this military method is based on and how to practice them effectively. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm your host, Dr. Yavuz Selim Sılay, physician, entrepreneur, and venture architect. I'm really thrilled to be with you at WHN. See you next time. All the best. Bye.